Sparklings, just me, and it's my birthday today. As of, I'm looking at an invisible watch that states it's 8:28 as I'm filming this. Or I could have just said while I'm filming this, it's 8:28. Anyhoozle, in my major collection of everything, I really have not done a pin board, and I've really wanted to, but the problem is I love horror, I love werewolves, I love so many things. I didn't know if I should just do them all or if I should focus on one, and I was like, I'm just gonna look for werewolf pins. Well, I found a place that had a handful of them, and I figured, well, that's great, because then I can just do my first board as a werewolf board. So I found this place called Vicious Delights. It was mainly like horror, and it was like my jam. So I put a couple pins in, and I was like, they have a lot of werewolf ones, and I was really happy about it. It's an amazing shop that had like so much like different like old school horror. They had a cool sideshow like pin selection. They had a lot. They even had like a Big Trouble Little China pin, which I ended up purchasing. I did purchase it for my husband because even though I did get myself 9 pins, I did give him one of them, and it's in this box. So I was really happy that I did find so much, and I started out with like 1 or 2, and I was like, they're 96 cents a pin, but then they end up being like $1.50 to $2 a pin. So I was like, okay, they have a discount thing for like 6 of them, and then I realized I had even more pins. Ended up walking out with like 10 pins, the 10 pin deal. Highly recommend just doing the discount pack if you can find multiple pins. They were really fast, they shipped it, and I got my box right here. It's got 10 pins. They're smaller pins, but I'm really excited. I don't want to cut my fingers off, that would be great. Turn 27, lose 7 fingers. So it is in a cool black box. So that is actually pretty awesome. I like the black box, and it's got a wax seal on it, which is neato bandito. I have to break it though because of where the ribbon is in order to get into the box. I'm sorry, beautiful wax seal, but I want my buttons. Ooh. So with tax and everything, it was $11. So it was $11 for 10 pins. So it's $1 a pin, which is why I say do the discount deal if you find a bunch you like. They have a pretty cool business card, and it's like, you're not gonna destroy a paper card. It's actually like it's laminated. And I do like the graphic on that a lot. And then when you remove the card and your receipt, I don't want to tilt it because they'll jostle again, but, and then you have your pins. I will say I do wish that instead of like, I don't know, instead of like the gauze to protect them and things, maybe like little tiny of those plastic bags so they're not like, a couple of them, like you can see like where the back of a pin kind of was grinding up against it. So it's probably beneficial that probably they go into like some plastic bag or something like that. They are tiny, but I was aware of how tiny they are. They're a little bit tinier in person than in my head, but the size is correct on their listings. But let's just flip this around and take a look at the actual individual pins and just sift through them. I'll just get my husband's out of the way. Is Big Trouble Little China, but they look nice, and I know he's gonna love this. Curse of the Werewolf. That's an awesome pin. This is probably one of my favorites that I had in my cart. An American Werewolf in London. By default, we also needed an American Werewolf in Paris, of course. The Company of Wolves. I have this as a Rotten Rental set, and when I saw The Howling, I obviously needed it. Awesome. Love it, love it. Another need was the Wolfman. It's just, I like the color and everything on these. They're really well made for tiny pins. Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, another good classic. I really liked the vintage Halloween Wolfman mask. I thought this was really cool. Again, I really love the vibrancy for such a tiny pin. The red and yellow, they look really great. This one kicked my giggle bucket. It says Beauty or Beast, Woman or Monster. It was basically a pin made for me, and I love the old horror font on this, and it's just awesome. They were really sweet, and they even added an 11th pin, and it's a werewolf one, and it says Monster Candy, another vintagey looking one, and it has like that vibrant, like, ooh, I almost dropped it, cobalt blue. So thank you for that, Vicious Delights. It's awesome for the collection. To give you an idea on size, this is one in the palm of my hand. So I know that obviously hands are different sizes, but that's just to give you guys an idea, just in case, you know, you have a size preference for pins. But in a conglomerate on a board or even as accessories, I really do like the tiny ones. I think that they're going to look cool being with more than just one pin. Also, the backs of the pin, for those who are curious, obviously it's just what you'd expect, and it has a copper actual pin in it, and they're all exactly the same on the back. That pretty much does it for my unboxing of Vicious Delights. I really love these 11 pins. They're really awesome. Cool thing too is that if you, aside from these, you can always have them as a keychain instead. They have that option as well for a little bit more. So if you want them on like a plastic key ring with a metal ring, I think it was, you can check out their shop and you can have them either as a button or you can have them as a key ring. I'm wondering if in the future they're going to give different size varieties. It would be cool to have a board of not just one size, of just like different pins by them of different sizes, like maybe bigger ones of the ones you really love, smaller ones of the ones you just want to kind of collect together, kind of go together, because they do have sequels like the American Werewolf in London and then an American Werewolf in Paris, things like that. I don't know. I mean, you never know with companies. Some things are sometimes in the making already before we even know it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me for my little unboxing. So I will see you guys next time. I'm gonna go figure out where I'm gonna pin these, just saying.